I'm attorney Howard Ankin with Chicagoans You Should Know, and I'm here with Steve Wilkos to kind of understand his background and his life story. So this look is the Steve Wilkos on TV look.
This is what did it right here.
So you're from Chicago.
I grew up right down the street from Wrigley Field. I grew up in Roscoe Village, and I went to Lane Tech High School. And after high school, I went into the Marines.
While you're a Chicago police officer, that's when you get the invite to do security on Jerry Springer?
So I was a Chicago policeman, and I did Springer. So I got on the police department in 1990. I got on Jerry Springer in 1994, and I left the police department in 2001. I went from a role of just being security on the show. I went to kind of being Jerry's sidekick on the show. So.
And how did that transition that you became the sidekick?
Well, I think it was a natural kind of selection by the fans because I was always breaking up the fights. I was always in the middle of the action, so the audience kind of was drawn to me. There wasn't a lot of white, bald guys on TV, so that really, I stood out and people were just drawn. And I remember this was before email. People would write letters into the show. I was in the hallway in NBC Tower, and somebody came up the very first time somebody asked me for an autograph.
Were any of these fights like true fights? Were you really ever worried about getting your nose broken or something, or was this kind of?
Well, I certainly did suffer my injuries. I had 2 back surgeries. I had a concussion. I tore my groin on the show. So the fights were real. And
my first question is, how come I didn't get the workers' comp case out of you?
Hey, if I would have known you, I probably would have used that.
Talk about the statute of limitations when this is over.
The first time I did Springer, it was easy to do because it's the Springer show and you know what it is. But my first show, you really don't know what you're doing, right? It's like they just threw you behind a plane. Okay, now land it, Yeah. What the hell? I didn't get trained to do this. And so that's kind of how I felt with my show.
How much input do you put into like the topics for the show versus like the management of the station picking the topics?
Well, there's only one person responsible for doing the topics that we do, and that's my wife, who's my executive producer. But there was times when I didn't like a certain type of show or whatever, but she's like, just do it, this is what's best for the show. She's in charge of, I really have no input into the show. It
makes the home life a little easier doing that, doesn't it?
It certainly does, so yeah. This is our 12th season to like true crimes. We're doing homicides, so it's good that we're constantly in a state of change.
And what's your opinion between how your show is and let's say like how Jerry Springer's show used to be?
On Springer, I said it was like going to high school, hanging out with your friends. It was just fun and crazy. Where my show, these are people that have serious issues going in their life and they need answers, they need the truth. Same issues I dealt with being a policeman, we brought it on the TV. So that's the difference. The Springer show is fun. And people having just kind of a great time. And my show is people looking for justice, looking for answers, and we're trying to get that for them.
So I guess my one big last question for you is, when one of your fans calls and they say, I've been in an auto accident, hurt at work, injured.
You called Howard Ankin, the best lawyer in town.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.